Hello, good afternoon. And I'd like to introduce Mom, just already in the stage. Hello, Miss Jenna. Is that cool? Yeah. Before anything else, she is a world-class musician, having made gold and platinum albums. Wow, it's amazing, ma'am. She was a speaker of TEDx, NASA, and Chennai, India, demonstrating the universal appeal of combining education with music and humor. Oh, she delivers educational, entertaining keynote concerts around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all welcome Miss Jenna Stanfield. Welcome to Paps.
At Together We Can Change the World, of which I'm the co-founder with Scott Friedman, we have a little ritual that we do sometimes at dinner. We call it the best of the best. And we go around and we talk about what was the best of your day. Some moment that was special to you that was the best. And each of us has a different thing that we say, and it brings it back to each of us. What a wonderful moment that was in the day. I don't know if you realize it, but I'm so proud to be among the speakers who are donating their time tonight. Did you have any idea that you were getting the best of the best? All the things they've given you in this time, if I were starting out as a speaker and I could have heard these people for 15 minutes each, it would have shaved years off my learning curve. And I hope it does the same for you. So you may wonder why we do this. Oh my gosh, how wonderful. Thank you. Oh, yeah. We are going to make this work. Okay, let's just see what we can do here to get the mic on this and the computer and everything. Let's see what happens. Now we realize what that mic was good for, a guitar. We cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that we can do. Would you repeat after me? Because I know we're in the Philippines. I've been here many times. I know what good singers we have here. Okay, we cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that we can do. We're going to sing it differently now. We're going to sing I cannot do. And what I want you to know is if you have felt the calling to be a speaker, to use your words for good, even if you haven't started yet, or if you've been stumbling along for years, I want you to know that you heard that calling for a reason. And I want you to sing this by repeating after me and say the word I instead of we, to know that you are called to use your words to make a difference and to follow that creed that we heard at the beginning of your meeting. I cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that I can do. All right, I have one more version of this. Let me see if I can get my computer woken up. Wake up! Di ko kaya gawin lahat nung kailangan nung mundo. Pero ang mundo kailangan ang magagawa ko. We We cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good we can do. Sing it with me. We cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good we can do. We cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good we can do. We cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good we can do. Scott Friedman. You may know him as a guy that doesn't spell very well. But we know he was using auto text there. And he was probably communicating with about 15 companies that could actually pay us to come and do something while we were here. And yet he would not give up, and I'll tell you why. Scott is the person who really created the global community of speakers. His idea was to bring it to Southeast Asia, and he helped with the Singapore Association of
Professional Speakers, the Malaysia Association of Professional Speakers. And he made it so that our first official global speaking summit, which could have been held anywhere in the world, was held in Southeast Asia. So that all of those people who were starting to understand about the speaking business and hearing this calling, believing that what you know and the way you communicate it has value, and that you could help people in this way. Scott's way of helping was to have the Global Speaking Summit in Singapore so that people of Southeast Asia could come and would come. And to see how much the speaking industry has grown in these areas is so inspiring. But you know what's even more inspiring? Scott has been coming here for years, and he could have just gotten all the business for himself. Why would you create communities of competition? Because Scott knows about a man named Cavett Roberts, who was the beginning of the Speakers Association in the United States. And what Cavett Roberts said is, instead of competing for a piece of the pie, let's build a bigger pie.
So that there's more than enough for everyone. And that's why we are here tonight, as part of that vision that Scott's been living for years. The other thing he wanted to do was to give back. And that's where Together We Can Change the World was born. The best way to tell you the story of Together We Can Change the World is through music. Would that be okay with you? Yeah. All right. I love how much Filipinos love music and do music and dance. I just love it. It starts with one who sees a child in need and asks a friend, that's me, how many can we feed? And now there's two, a power so much greater than we knew. 'Cause when two or more are gathered, together, 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 together we can change the world. 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 And one by one, the blessings multiply and children grow right before our eyes, and goodness knows we'll always have enough when we give love. Love to one another. Sing it with me. Together, 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 together we can change the world. 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 When you care and you dare to share the harvest of the seeds you sow, the life you change may be your own, your own. Together, 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 together we can change the world. 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 Last time. Together, 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 together we can change the world. 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 I love how you've heard tonight about all these different business models, all these different ways of being a speaker. We call it the mix. And if you're still working a full-time job, how many of you are still at a full-time job right now? If you're still working a full-time job, just know that lots of speakers work full-time jobs or they have businesses, and speaking is part of their mix. If you are never full-time making your living at speaking, you are not a failure. You are a success because you are out there using your words to make a difference in the world. I like to think of us as a world wide web. When we teach children the song, All the Good, we teach them, I cannot do all the good. Isn't this nice that this is the word for good? That the world needs. Now, to do the world, you hold up these two W's like the World Wide Web, and you put them around like this, that the world needs. But the world needs all the good that I can do. There's a reason you've had every experience you've had. There's a reason you care about what you care about, enough to stand up and speak about it. You've been in training all these years, and I know that you probably felt like you were a little unusual. Did you ever feel like a misfit? In this 100-watt world, I always felt like a 300-watt bulb. Did you ever feel that way? When I've seen each introducer get up, I see that you have so much personality. It's beautiful. From the back, you look like a normal person. But when you get up here, we can see the fire that is coming out of you to be shared. It's a beautiful thing. Now, when I first went to a meeting of 1,000 speakers, knowing that in a 100-watt world, I had always been a 300-watt bulb, I felt like a 300-watt bulb at a spotlight convention. I felt so small with all of these bright lights. Scott Friedman was already there. And in addition to being the president of the association, a couple of years ago, he won the most coveted award in our speaking profession. And it's the award for the person who's made the biggest difference, who's done the most good, inspired the most people, and helped the most people. And we vote on that. And it's called the Cabot Award. And that's why Scott didn't give up those emails so that we could come and be with you tonight. Thank you, Scott. What I hope that you'll do because of me being here is to bring your gifts into whatever you're doing with your speaking. Jean De Giovanna is a wonderful salsa dancer. And so we did seminars yesterday. We'll do another full-day seminar tomorrow. And we brainstormed today about what if she started with Latin music and just danced her way down the aisle as she came in, so that she can be the one who. We've all got words. What else do you have? All those voices I bet you can do. Do them. Please. Do it your way. What I love about my friends here is that no one said, this is the way. Everyone said, this is what worked for me. And our philosophy is take what you like and leave the rest. The one thing I want to make sure you do is that you never give up. I started out speaking in schools. I didn't make as much money as any of the other speakers. And sometimes I was doing 7 programs a day. First, they were having me drive from school to school, and then in one area, they put me in front of the bleachers from the floor to the ceiling with kindergarten to 12th grade at the top to do my program. And they bussed kids in. They brought them on a bus from small towns, 1 hour at a time, and I would do a 40-minute program, and then they brought another bus, and I would do it again 7 times a day. Like Lynn said, she started out just putting up flyers and not charging anything. Do whatever you have to do, because the more you speak and help people, the better you will feel. As our motto is for Together We Can Change the World, the life you change may be your own. With Together We Can Change the World, our goal is to empower women and girls to bring clean water, education, anti-trafficking, and social entrepreneurship so that young people can grow up and have a career and be self-supporting. And we have a donation box that we'll put out there on the table if you would like to contribute. I'm going to leave you with this one song, especially for those of you who are still working a full-time job. And it reminds me, it takes me back to the days when I was a television news reporter. I had told God I wanted to be on TV in the worst way. Television news is it. I dreamed of using my words and music to make a difference in the world, not just my world, but the world. This is our world. And to be standing in front of you today is a dream come true. So I want you to remember as you listen to this song, that television news reporter who was scared and worried that there would never be a way for me to do what I loved because I was so afraid to leave my full-time job. And let this be your song. What would I do today if I were brave? I'll close with this. What would I do if I knew I could not fail? If I believed with the wind always fill up my sail? How far would I go? What could I achieve? Trusting the hero in me. If I were brave, I'd walk the razor's edge, where true believers dare to tread. And I'd never lose faith, even when losing my way. What step would I take today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? that comes around again, you're invited to sing. I wouldn't say that in every country, but in the Philippines, yes, please, sing with me. What if we're all meant to do what we secretly dream? What would you ask if you knew you could have anything? Like the mighty oak sleeps in the heart of a seed, are there miracles in you and me? You know there are. If I were brave, I'd walk the razor's edge, where true believers dare to tread, and never lose faith, even when losing my way. What step would I take today if I were brave? Would you sing it with me now? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? If I were brave, we are so Thank you, Caps. Thank you for having us all. And together we can change the world.